Another quick story, we were in a thing where this gentleman was a major legal force for gay activists, and we were on one of the channels, Channel 4 in DC, I think it was. So we had a long segment. It may have been 12, 13 minutes, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And he says, I'm so incensed, and he starts ranting. And it was up to Bishop Jackson here, blah, blah, blah. So we finished the thing. I greet him. He walks off the stage and kind of almost like walks off and still in that spirit of anger, walks away. And I don't really know him. I've engaged him a couple times, but I prayed. I said, Lord, let me touch that man's heart. I didn't know what that meant. But when I went outside, I had one of my deacons driving me, I found that this guy was pacing up and down at a nearby corner out in front of the station. So the driver and I came around, and I walked up to him and I said, sir, it looks like you're in a hurry. Our deacon is here. Can we just drop you someplace? Oh, I'll be fine. So we went. So other than the guidance of the Holy Spirit, I don't even know why I did it, because I normally wouldn't have done what I did. And so he walked to the corner. I stayed where I was. And I just stayed there. I stood there for a couple of minutes, looked at my watch, he looked at his watch. And he finally said, would you take me there? I'm going to miss my appointment. And I said, sure. Wow. I called the car around. We got into the car. We started to talk. And then he started telling me all these reasons why his side was going to beat our socks off and that we would never win. I heard what he said. And I'm saying the debate is over. I'm not trying to debate with this guy. He's still trying to debate and win. All I want to do on this road, I don't know who hurt him that was Christian. I don't know why this root of bitterness is in this man's life. But I know today we have an opportunity.
Just let the love of God wash over him. And, yeah.
It's almost bringing tears to my eyes. I really felt that. Yeah. So we just drove, and then I found out that his whole professional career, after he graduated from law school, he's been working toward one thing, trying to get same-sex marriage approved. I realized, this is an issue of personal self-esteem. This is not about civil rights. This is not about what's best for the country. This is about how that man feels about himself. And so by the time we got to the end of the thing, he had told me about his boyfriend from Africa. He talked about a whole lot of stuff in just that little 12, 15-minute drive. And so I said, I'm glad we could help you. And he stopped and he said something very powerful. He said, thank you so much. He said, you've been very gracious to me today. And then he wandered off. I saw that guy on the various events after this, and they're up there doing their thing. And on every occasion, he walks up to me, he says something. There's always a little banter about how well their side is doing. But you have that sense that he knows, I'm not a homophobe. I'm not in this because
you messed up a stereotype in many ways by your conduct.
Exactly.
I think it's a wonderful, profound anecdote, and so much can be gleaned from that if we had the time. I know you are on a very busy schedule and you have to leave here and go to a major event in Philadelphia, but we thank you so much for your time. I'll just give you the opportunity to leave something for us here, and that is what is your counsel for us pastors, and you also being a pastor? Where should our priorities be right now in the pulpit, the way we divide our times and energies for the church? Where should we be placing the emphasis right now so that the church can really play the role that it can play in the scenario that we presently occupy?
Well, I think we got to go back to basic discipleship pastors. And what I mean by that, there's a certain amount of the work that can be done in the pulpit. Certain amount of work has to be done one-on-one, but I think we've got to go back and say, what are the root issues that are troubling this culture? Can I raise up an army of people who have internal values that will combat those issues. So we're living in a sex-crazed world. So it's almost like we've got the gay marriage thing here, and down here, folks will say, well, so-and-so is sleeping around, but at least he's not gay. I mean, that's not the right balance. It's almost like the extremes are out here. In order to allow us or bring us to a false security that we'll forgive and accept what looks like is less extreme, but it's still sin. So we don't have a Christian worldview in that whole area of sex and sexuality, the brokenness of mankind. And then in America, racial hatred is still there. And I think for the rising minority intelligentsia, there's a temptation for my Harvard-trained daughter and other leaders to come out of all their education and all the buffeting they've been through with just a little chip on their shoulder of I've got to prove, I've got to say, I've got to do, or if somebody comes at me, I'm going to take them apart, even though we're Christians. So I'd say back to the Word, back to discipleship, and thirdly, back to the prayer closet so that we come out of, those places with the power to confront the kinds of things we've been discussing today.
Bishop Jackson, thank you so much. You are a resource to the Church of Jesus Christ here in this nation, and we thank you for taking out of your very busy schedule this moment to be with us. We bless you, we bless your family and ministry, and pray that God will use you for many, many years to come. Thank you again for being with us. And I bless you all who have been watching this program. Thank you for tuning in with us. And again, my name is Roberto Miranda, and I look forward to being with you again. God bless you.